Chosen one, let your soul grow still and your mind quiet, so you can sense the weighty shift that hangs in the air. There is an urgency here, a sober summons you cannot afford to brush aside. For some time now you have been sharing your innermost thoughts and plans too freely, unveiling the sacred details of your journey to people who may not honor your vision. God is displeased with this unbridled openness because your private counsel was never meant to be put on public. Understand that not every ear deserves to hear the deepest stirrings of your heart, and not every eye should witness the blueprint God has carefully mapped out for your destiny. Yet, before you absorb this message in its entirety, I invite you to do 3 simple things. Like this video, subscribe if you have not, and comment 777 below. By doing so, you declare your readiness to heed this warning, to protect what is precious, and to walk with the discernment heaven demands of you. Think back on your life, on all those instances when you entrusted your grandest dreams or your sensitive struggles to people who turned around and misused that information. Perhaps they gave you advice tainted by their fear, or spread your business to others, turning your private confessions into casual gossip. Maybe they sowed seeds of doubt that stifled the seedlings of faith in your soul. You might have shrugged it off, telling yourself you were being transparent or forging connection, but God sees deeper. God sees how each betrayal, each mocking voice, each unauthorized intrusion has chipped away at your zeal, coaxing you to second-guess the destiny assigned to you from on high. This is no coincidence. The spiritual realm is aware of the power behind your testimony, your revelations, and your future achievements. Forces of disruption often move through unsuspecting or ill-intentioned individuals who pry into your secrets, distorting them until you hardly recognize your own calling. Comment 777. If this resonates, if you can recount those painful scenarios where you left a conversation feeling robbed of your hope or confidence. Each digit typed is an appeal to heaven, signaling that you take this warning seriously, and in the hush that follows, feel something shift. A protective barrier forming around your spirit, a holy caution that urges you to guard your heart more diligently. No longer can you afford to cast pearls before those who might trample them. You stand at the threshold of a new era, one in which your greatest breakthroughs will manifest quietly, away from prying eyes, until they are ripe to be unveiled. Why does God grow angry with your unrestrained sharing? Because your dreams, your insights, and your spiritual secrets are not merely personal. They are divine seeds entrusted to you for a higher purpose. When you scatter them recklessly, you expose these seeds to predators, to negative energies that can thwart their growth. In the cosmic plan, your confidentiality is a shield against sabotage, a safeguard for the revelations God has poured into your spirit. Remember how certain scriptural stories highlight the calamities that befall those who reveal their destinies too soon, becoming targets of envy or hatred. That cautionary thread weaves through time, reminding us that the hidden work God does in your heart must remain protected until He gives you clearance to speak. Comment 777 again if you grasp that your calling is too precious to be paraded in front of skeptics who feast on doubt. Each digit typed fortifies your resolve to keep silent about certain progressions, certain miracles, certain instructions. Far from living in fear, you are choosing to be wise. There is a stark difference between living in secrecy out of paranoia and holding your counsel out of reverence for the holy. When you keep certain matters between you and God, you allow them to mature under divine light, untainted by the negativity or exploitation of those who fail to see the sacredness of your path. Now, you might wonder, how does one balance openness with discretion? Not every bit of your journey has to be cloaked in silence. Fellowship and counsel can be blessings if shared with genuinely supportive hearts. However, you must discern who has truly earned the right to your vulnerable truths. Often, the best measure is the fruit of their track record. Are they loyal? Are they proven confidants who have stood by you without twisting your words or betraying your trust? Do they honor your boundaries and reflect humility rather than curiosity masked as concern? Evaluate carefully, because the cost of misjudgment can be steep. A single ill-placed revelation can birth drama that drains your energy and mars your focus at a critical juncture in your journey. Comment 777 if you feel the weight of this reflection. Each digit typed proclaims your willingness to walk more cautiously in your relationships, not out of fear, but out of respect for the assignment God has placed on your life. In that quiet vow, sense the relief that comes when you no longer have to over-explain yourself or broadcast every step you take. Instead, you let your future success speak for itself in due time, confiding only in those who have your best interest at heart. This is how you guard your mental, emotional, and spiritual territory from trespassers who have no rightful claim to the intimate workings of your soul. But let us also talk about the deeper spiritual ramifications of oversharing. Every time you disclose an unborn vision to the wrong audience, you release energies that may oppose the manifestation of that vision. Words hold power. Once uttered, they can spawn either life or death in the realm of possibility. By confiding in those who harbor jealousy, skepticism, or malice, you inadvertently feed those negative forces. They may speak curses, sometimes unwittingly, and deposit seeds of confusion or despair that you must then uproot before they choke your budding miracle. In this sense, oversharing can become self-sabotage, a slow leak draining the vitality of your faith. Comment 777 once more if you acknowledge how oversharing has hindered you in the past. Each digit typed reflects your determination to break that cycle, allowing yourself to remain silent about crucial endeavors until they are robust enough to face the outside world. That silence is not cowardice. It is courage. It takes courage to resist the urge for validation or applause, to trust that your reward will come not from the fleeting praise of men, but from the culminating success that emerges when heaven and earth align on your behalf. Reflect, too, on the emotional toll of oversharing. How many nights have you lain awake after revealing more than you should, your mind spinning with regret or worry about how that information might be misconstrued or exploited? Imagine the liberation of no longer giving away your peace like that, of preserving your secrets in a sacred sanctuary until it's time to unveil them. In that sanctuary, your ideas and revelations grow in potency, nurtured by solitude and prayer, away from the chaotic swirl of opinions that might stifle them before they can bloom. Comment 777. If you long for that freedom, for the mental quiet that allows you to hear God's whisper more clearly, each digit typed is a declaration of independence from the tyranny of external opinions. You shift your posture from seeking approval to seeking alignment, from broadcast to sacred hush. The loud ones are often insecure, craving attention to mask the void within. But you, chosen one, are called to a different pattern, a pattern of confident quietness, resting in the knowledge that God's voice outranks any applause or criticism. But let us be mindful. Secrecy is not meant to isolate you entirely. You do need trustworthy companions, wise mentors, perhaps a small circle of intercessors who will stand guard with you. The difference is that these individuals are proven, time-tested anchors of faith, love, and discretion. They will not pry for gossip's sake, nor will they gossip about what you share. They hold your words in reverence, aware that you trust them with something more significant than random information. A genuine confidant sees your vulnerability as a space to protect, not an opportunity to exploit. Comment 777, again, if you are ready to cultivate that tight-knit circle, pruning away the casual talkers who leave your heart feeling exposed and unsettled. Each digit typed cements your commitment to finding or nurturing these bonds. In this circle, you will find the solace and safety to process your revelations, to refine your strategies, and to pray through your anxieties without fear of betrayal. This synergy is far more valuable than the superficial camaraderie you might have once confused for genuine support. Now, you might ask, what does it mean that God is angry? Anger in the divine context is often a reflection of deep sorrow or protective zeal rather than petulant rage. God is angered not because he wants to punish you, but because he sees how oversharing jeopardizes the destiny he painstakingly designed for you. He grows displeased when you hand over the blueprint of your breakthroughs to those unfit to handle it, for it endangers the divine masterpiece he is weaving. In such anger, there is a call to repentance, to turn from the habit of reckless transparency and into the discipline of spiritual confidentiality. Comment 777 if you sense that call to repent, not from a place of shame, but from an eagerness to honor your purpose. Each digit typed signals your readiness to heed the warnings that ring so urgently in your spirit. Repentance is about reorienting your actions, setting a new course that respects the boundaries God has established to protect your calling. It's about learning to treasure your revelations as holy gifts, not casual bits of conversation. Practical wisdom beckons you to be less reactive in how you communicate. When you experience a new revelation, be it a dream, an idea, or a divine whisper, resist the impulse to share it immediately, especially in states of emotional excitement. Give it time to settle in prayerful reflection. Ask for clarity on whether this detail must be shared, and if so, with whom. Force yourself to remain quiet until that sense of spiritual green light emerges. In doing so, you cultivate an intimate rapport with heaven, building trust that if a matter is meant for public knowledge, God will reveal the right time and the right words. Comment 777, if you embrace this discipline, longing for the spiritual growth it brings. Each digit typed underscores your pledge to transition from impulsive chat to sacred guardianship of your private truth. There is a beauty in anticipating how your undisclosed wonders will eventually burst forth in their due season, refined and unstoppable. Others might wonder where your sudden leaps came from, how you advanced so far with no apparent struggle. That hidden diligence is the fruit of prudent silence, of forging your achievements in secret until they bloom triumphantly in the open. Simultaneously, your decision to withdraw from oversharing might lead some to accuse you of arrogance or secrecy. Let them speak. You owe no apology for preserving the sanctity of what God entrusted you. Not everyone can understand the gravity that rests on your shoulders. The final unveiling will speak volumes, and in that unveiling, your quiet strength will be vindicated. Indeed, the most radiant successes often look effortless precisely because the real battles were fought in silence, shielded from onlookers who might have contributed only negativity. Comment 777 once more, if you receive the fortitude to withstand misunderstandings from onlookers. Each digit typed rests on the knowledge that your loyalty is to your Creator's instructions, not the passing opinions of an audience. Silence can be your friend, your spiritual cloak protecting the infant dreams that are far too fragile to withstand the rough handling of a world addicted to information for the sake of gossip. This is how you keep your destiny strong in its early stages, by not letting it see the daylight before its roots are deep enough to hold fast. A day will come, chosen soul, when you will marvel at how the simple act of stopping your oversharing multiplied your progress tenfold. You will see how your clarity improved, how your relationships strengthened around genuine devotion instead of superficial interest, and how your spiritual acuity soared once the voices of outside interference were no longer swirling around your private affairs. That day of marvel will bring a sense of reverent gratitude, for you will realize how perilously close you once were to squandering the most precious gifts in your life, squandering them simply because you let unworthy ears and eyes intrude on a realm where they did not belong. Comment 777 if you long for that day of marvel. Each digit typed expresses your yearning for a future unclouded by regrets of having spoken too freely. Let this yearning sharpen your commitment to a new standard of self-control. In that standard you will discover the serenity of knowing that your destiny is nurtured in hallowed ground, free from the trampling footsteps of those who do not comprehend its sanctity. As you adopt this discipline, you might also notice your connection with God deepening. By keeping secrets to yourself, you naturally lean more on Him for affirmation and guidance, rather than chasing validation from people who might not even value your progress. This shift births spiritual maturity, forging a direct line of intimacy that surpasses superficial interactions. You learn to trust the still, small voice within, to let it refine your plans behind closed doors, unveiling them only when the divine timing resonates in your spirit like a clarion call. Comment 777 again to affirm your desire for this deeper connection. Each digit typed cements your resolution to set a guard over your lips, focusing your energy on the voice of God, rather than the fleeting input of onlookers. By doing so, your spirit transforms from a restless wanderer to a poised sentinel, stationed at the gates of your destiny with unwavering vigilance. The effect on your overall well-being will be profound. More peace, fewer mental battles, less regret, and a profound sense of being yoked to a power far greater than the opinions of man. It is also vital to reflect on how this new pattern can bless your relationships. When you become selective in sharing, you cultivate circles of depth rather than crowds of shallow acquaintances. Trust flourishes where boundaries are honored. By not spilling every intimate detail, you encourage deeper empathy and authenticity in those who do walk with you. They realize the privilege of hearing your secrets, valuing them with the same reverence you do. In this dynamic, loyalty intensifies, turning mere friendships into powerful alliances rooted in mutual respect for each other's boundaries. Comment 777 once more if you sense the relational harvest that awaits you through this shift. Each digit typed resonates as a commitment to forging deeper, more meaningful connections, free from the tangled webs of gossip or betrayal. It might mean letting some relationships fade if they cannot handle your new boundaries, but that is a price worth paying for the clarity and sacredness of your path. Such is the cost of stepping into your higher calling. Not all can ascend with you. You might be tempted to second-guess yourself, to wonder if you are overreacting or succumbing to paranoia, but let me remind you that God is not outraged without reason. His anger is protective, fueled by the knowledge that each time you share sacred truths with those unprepared to handle them, you hamper your own growth and invite spiritual turbulence. This confrontation is your wake-up call, a paternal warning that if you do not secure your heart's secrets, you may forfeit the spiritual and emotional inheritance He prepared for you. Comment 777 if you need that wake-up call to rattle you out of old patterns. Each digit typed stands as a vow not to dismiss this caution as mere emotional reaction. You hear, you heed, you shift. Already you can feel the transformation taking root, your awareness sharpened to the patterns of your conversations and the real motives of those who press you for details you should withhold. In this new posture, you will discover a surprising sense of empowerment. When your secrets are safeguarded, you no longer face the dread that your private hopes might be ridiculed or hijacked by ill-intentioned parties. Your time and mental energy are liberated to focus on cultivating the mission God assigned you, rather than on damage control or anxiety over who might misuse your words. This shift in focus can catapult you forward faster than any motivational speech or pep talk, because you are no longer weighed down by the aftermath of oversharing. Comment 777 if you crave that freedom. Each digit typed expresses your yearning to trade the clutter of oversharing for the clarity of guarded purpose. Embrace the quiet wonder that stirs when you realize you owe the world fewer explanations than you once believed. The only validation that ultimately matters arises from your alignment with God and the fruit that alignment yields in your life. Remember, dear soul, that this counsel is not about becoming cold or distant. It is about becoming a wise steward of the mysteries God reveals to you. You can still love, still encourage, still fellowship, but you do so with discretion, aware that not every secret belongs in every conversation. By adopting this discernment, you extend a grace to yourself and to others. You free yourself from the burden of constant self-disclosure, and you free others from the confusion that results when they are entrusted with revelations they lack the maturity to handle. Comment 777 again, to affirm that you understand the difference between healthy communication and reckless disclosure. Each digit typed is a nod to your capacity for nuanced discernment, an acknowledgement that your words can build or destroy, bless or curse, invite or repel. By controlling your speech, you harness the power of creation that flows through every syllable you utter. As your words become more intentional, the results in your life become more aligned with divine purpose, drawing you into higher levels of favor and manifestation. And so we circle back to the core of this message. Stop sharing your secrets. God is angry. This is a divine directive, not a mere suggestion. God's anger arises from His love, from His desire to see you thrive without interference, to see your destiny flourish unimpeded by the meddling or negativity of those who do not cherish your vision. Stop handing them the blueprint of your breakthroughs. Stop letting them eavesdrop on your next big move. There is a sanctity in your story that belongs to a small circle, or perhaps to God alone, until the appointed hour of unveiling. Comment 777, one final time. If you internalize this command, letting it settle in your soul as an unshakable principle, each digit typed rings like a bell across the spiritual plane, marking the moment you decide to guard your promise with silent reverence. No more regrets from talking too freely. No more tears from betrayals that could have been avoided. You ascend into a realm of secure progress, forging unstoppable momentum that others cannot sabotage because they do not know how or where to interfere. Yes, chosen one, you have learned many lessons on your path, but perhaps none as vital as this. Your secrets are not trivial chatter. They hold the codes to your calling, the seeds of your spiritual harvest. By ceasing to share them indiscriminately, you align yourself with a protective barrier that heaven endorses. You fortify your spirit, your relationships, and your destiny, all in one motion. It may feel lonely at first, but in that solitude, you will discover a deeper communion with God. And when the fruits of your withheld revelations burst forth in undeniable evidence of grace, all who once demanded your secrets will stand in awe of what they could neither predict nor sabotage. Go forth now in silence, not of fear, but of wisdom. Let your hush be your fortress and your prayer be your compass, and in due season, when the time is right, you will speak. Not with frantic explanations, but with the calm authority of one who has walked hand in hand with the divine. Your breakthroughs, your promotions, your expansions will speak louder than any words you could have uttered prematurely. Such is the power of holy restraint, of hiding your treasures until the day they are invincible to external tampering. In that day, the glory will be evident, and you will know you honored the message. Stop sharing your secrets. God is angry, and He has spoken for your good. Let these words guide you as you shield your destiny, forging ahead in purposeful discretion until the cosmic unveiling crowns your life's work with unstoppable brilliance.